To begin with, I don't think that spoilers are a major problem here because, it's been out, the movie's already out, so, like, everybody's already talking about it, everything's already spoiled. Some of the more specific stuff I'm gonna shut up about, but you have been warned. Blink twice. Yeah, this movie was something. I didn't expect it to be as fun as it was. I thought it would be like overly obsessed with itself and kind of boring, so I avoided going to see it until recently. Like I don't know how long it's been out. I just remember I avoided to watching it like for a couple of days because I felt like it could be a little bit overindulgent in making the men super annoying, and the men would be like overly cartoonish, like a lot of feminist stuff. Like feminism isn't really a coherent political movement. It's a random label you toss on like 12, 50, 60, like however many versions of feminism there is. It's a random political label and it gets applied to dozens and dozens of different things. And at the end of the day, like you usually mostly hear about really, really, really entitled, stupid people fucking around. But this movie was something different. This movie was an actual good chick versus dude movie. Yeah, the main character like was pretty relatable, which surprised me because if you have a horror movie about a chicks going to war with dudes and the main protagonist is a black chick from Hollywood, like if you've watched anything that's come out the last half decade, the last 5 to 8 years, like you'd know that there's pretty good reasons to be skeptical. But no, like uh, it was surprisingly competent, and the storytelling was surprisingly competent and surprisingly fun. I think the switch between a goofy best friend character who's like overly sensitive and overly nice and helping the main protagonist, switching her up with the chick from the gala who like didn't want to touch her hand because she's all snobby and there's like animals on the hand, like, and her transformation throughout the movie like was a great decision. It was just like a great decision. It's the same chick from Hitman, not to be confused with Hitman Hall 7. I don't even know whatever happened to that Russian chick from Hitman Hall 7. I think she did a Pierce Brosnan movie and then just like fell off the face of the earth. It was weird. Now I'm talking about Hitman, the Netflix thing with Sydney Sweeney's husband. Like the super nice dude who like pretends to be a hitman like a whole bunch of times, and then they end up killing like a bad guy cop. That hitman. Yeah, the hot chick from this movie, the one on the right, like really, really does well in this thing. And frankly speaking, like no offense to the independent black woman protagonist in this movie, but I really feel like the hot Latin chick on the right would have been so much better as the protagonist of this movie, because the movie is about getting on a plane to go to some rich people's private island, and oh no, like wealth doesn't save you. But if it's that, then like why make the story from the point of view of a chick who's struggling financially? Why not make the movie from the point of view of a chick who already has found success by showing off being this idea of like a super hot model who's like jumps into planes with people she doesn't know and like gets drunk, like like that movie Revenge, not to be confused with the 90s movie Revenge with the Victoria Grayson from the TV show Revenge, but the movie Revenge with the chick that's gonna be Red Sonja, where like girlfriend's left alone with two creeps and they rape her, and then she like gets guns and kills everyone. Like that revenge. Like, yeah, I really feel like this movie would have been a lot better if it wasn't so obsessed with um, setting up the character as being weaker than the rich man at the start of the show. It kind of felt like this whole awkward, fake relatability thing, whereas like a more relatable character is a character you can understand isn't and she's in your face. Like the character on the left, the main character, she like has a setup for like a character who's like goes through life, blah 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 blah, but she feels like a bit awkward. It's a little bit awkward to watch her, and she doesn't feel like someone who's like really struggling, like Spider-Man 2. In Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker is for actual really struggling. And I think it's more relatable to show someone dealing with a problem with a sad expression on her face and then like she has to think about other stuff. It's more relatable to watch someone strong struggle and then continue on with her work than it is to watch someone like be awkward and be quirky and like not know what she's doing and then do stupid shit. And like there should have been like the setup like could have been more intense, but then that would have disjointed the movie given what's being set up. But the chick on the right like really feels like she's more like someone who belongs in that sort of environment, and the chick on the left being like slightly less hot and a bit more quirky, and with that like short hair and it being super weird, it just feels like unnecessary like defeminization. Just it's very slight defeminization, but it just feels like unnecessary slight defeminization for the sake of slight defeminization and like I don't know, fake relatability. That's my problem. And like her hair being so short and her being overly goofy, it feels like she's not fitting the idea of the chicks that they want for the island, right? Like I feel like it would have made a little bit more sense if she had looked more like the original version of herself in a previous year. Yeah, so that was my review of the movie Blink Twice. I hope you liked it.